with what you need. He's a local and nationwide news feed. Let's talk about it. Dialect to do something about it. Ship got the flow wide open if you got questions about it. Man, it's the show that brings you to your raw. To solve all problems, it starts with real talk. Real talk. It's 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 real talk. Yeah. Welcome to Real Talk with your host, Chip Washington. It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk.
And here we go on this Monday evening, a warm one in the city. It is the 11th day of August, 2025, which means it is time, ladies and gentlemen, 6 o'clock straight up for another live and all new edition of Real Talk Memphis. Glad to be here this evening. Glad to have you out there if you are actually here. Mike is acting a little funny here this evening. There we go. Anyway, glad to have you out there as well tonight. I may have to change mics here, guys, at some point because this thing is acting really funny. Anyway, we have a good show for you tonight, as always. So we hope that if you're in the house, stay in the house, pick you some dinner and relax and sit back and get into this for the next hour or so of a good conversation with some great guests. Now, you can always find this fine piece of radio broadcasting anytime. Right now, we are live on 91.7 WYXR on your FM dial. You can also find us on the WYXR app. We are also on the TuneIn app, TUNEIN. The show will be live streamed tonight on Facebook Live. So if that's your thing, head over to my page and you'll see the show live on Facebook. And when the show posts the next day or two, you will be able to listen to it on YouTube. And as we are a podcast, once the show posts, you can listen to it wherever it is you listen to your favorite podcast or your favorite podcast platform to listen to this show. How about that? There you go. So that's how you find us and what we're doing and hanging around on around here on a Monday evening. In terms of our guest, my first guest in just a few minutes, her name is LaTricea Adams. She is the founder, CEO, and president of an environmental organization called Young, Gifted, and Green. We are going to be talking a little bit about lead. Many of you checked out the news. You saw that 24 schools within the Memphis and Shelby County School District have elevated levels of lead in their water. So we're going to talk with her a little bit about that and about how dangerous it is in reference to lead and situations such as that. So stay tuned for that. That's just coming up in just a couple of minutes. A little bit later on, we will be speaking with Malcom Rawls. Malcom is the executive director of Rise Memphis, and they're an organization that wants to encourage, uplift, and get folks on the road to financial independence. And he's going to talk about his organization. They have a big event coming up soon, and we will hear about that from him. And a little bit later on in the broadcast, you know that bridge that connects us with with Arkansas? Well, the folks in West Memphis are doing big things. I mean, big things. And it's time for a checkup, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to have the West Memphis mayor. His name is McClendon. He will be joining us in the second half hour of the show to talk to us about, you may have heard about a water park, and they have one of the largest facilities in terms of, I don't know what you call it exactly, but let me just put it this way. It's a very big facility, and it begins with a B. We'll fill you in on all of that a little bit later on in the broadcast. But first things first, on this 11th day of August, many of you are celebrating a birthday, or some of you had birthday celebrations over the weekend, or maybe even coming up this week? Well, this is the time of the broadcast where we dedicate it to you. We give you the shout out. We let you make you feel good about being alive and being around for one more year. And I can't do that until I say, hit it, Brent. All right. Happy birthday going out to the following. Nick Mills celebrating his birthday today. Happy birthday, sir. Jim Brown, happy birthday to you. Kim Owens celebrating today. Pamela Jr., happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Anita Taylor. To Mary Singleton, happy birthday. Bethany Williams, celebrating on this 11th day of the month. Sohaila Kale, who actually I know, she's celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday, Sohaila. And Jonathan Ahern is celebrating his birthday today. Now, I don't see Lola sauntering over to the mic. There's no birthdays coming from her today. But from all of us here at Real Talk Memphis, we wish you a happy birthday. We hope that this day has been filled with fun and laughter. And we also hope that we are here with you next year to celebrate your next trip around the sun. Thanks, Brent. All right, let's get into some news and notes. There was a ruling today in the injunction case regarding former Superintendent of Education Marie Fagans, Dr. Marie Fagans. She had a preliminary injunction filed that would have put her back in charge of the Memphis and Shelby County School District, plus pay her back pay. Well, a judge denied that motion today. That would have her back in her seat immediately. And of course, she alleged in this injunction that Memphis and Shelby County Schools Board members had met secretly before the January vote that terminated her contract and installed interim superintendent Roderick Richmond. Well, she lost the injunction. However, the trial will go on. I don't know when the trial starts between her and Memphis and Shelby County Schools, but that will continue. And would she have a chance in that with both sides popping up motions? Yeah, probably so. The judge said, she might have a case. But in reference to this particular injunction, no dice. So we'll have to wait and see how the trial lays out. 24 Memphis and Shelby County schools have reported excessive levels of lead in the water at the schools. Now, all the affected schools obviously have been notified, and they are now all using bottled water for the faculty, the staff, and the students. Kids don't drink a lot of water, but of course, folks on the faculty, I'm sure that they do as the day goes by as well. 24 schools seems like a lot to me. Now, as a whole, in the total of schools in the district, maybe not. But 24 schools, that's a lot. And lead poisoning is a serious deal that can cause some very serious damage, not only to adults, but to children as well. And we'll be talking with LaTricea Adams about that in just a few minutes. The city of Memphis held a wonderful celebration of life earlier this morning at a public memorial commemorating the life of Fred Smith. That happened at the FedEx Forum. Today would have been his 81st birthday, by the way, and there were thousands of people that showed up, and everyone talked about how important a man he was and what he did, not only with FedEx, but just in the general nature of our city and making our community better. So it was a wonderful, wonderful send-off for him today. You may have heard that there was a proposal laid out last week by a construction group for a future home of the Shelby County Jail complex. They proposed it at a committee meeting of the county commissioners last week. Said that it would be a 3-phase project that would include the men's jail, the women's jail, and juvenile court. And it would cost anywhere from $900 million to $1.3 billion. The proposed site that they had in mind was over in New Chicago at, of course, the old Firestone plant. A lot of you native Memphians know about the plant. It was very, very big at one time around here, Now, of course, it's been closed. It's been down for decades and decades. There's 71 acres out there of that they could use and that they brought up. Well, now all of this is starting to percolate here in the community, and people are starting to bubble up a little bit about this. Oh, I don't know, North Memphis again, and this and that, and the whole 9 yards, and we don't want it over here, and why they have to put it over here? Well, first of all, nobody said they were going to put it over there. That's the first thing. This was a proposal, okay? A first proposal to the county commission, just to give them something to think about. This is not going to happen overnight. This is going to take quite a while for this to develop. But how do you feel about that? Do you think that that a new jail complex would be okay over in that part of town over there? It would bring new construction, obviously. It might bring new businesses, restaurants, and a lot of other things that people would need over in that part of town that has pretty much been diminished for a very, very long time. So that's a story that could have some legs as we move farther down the road. And one more thing. Remember, the county commission was looking at changing the election cycle for the Memphis and Shelby County School Board and moving it to next year's election cycle, which is 2026. Now, the folks who were elected in 2024 would actually, if they passed that, they would actually lose 2 years on their term. Well, guess what? They sort of put it back into committee after last week's debate. Well, guess what? They're bringing it out of committee tonight, and they're going to have a conversation about it this evening. It will be, I heard it was the last thing on the agenda. Well, of course it was. So we don't know how that's going to shake out. But yeah, they're going to talk about this, whether or not they are going to move this election cycle, for the school board into the county election cycle, which was next year. Now, there was another referendum that one of the other county commissioners, Erica Sugarman, put on the table, which basically said, well, let's allow the ones who were elected in 24 to keep their full term, which would mean they would be up in 28. Meanwhile, that's half the board. The other half of the board was elected in 22. So their election cycle is going to be up in 2026. So what they want to do is they want to have everybody, kind of all together here. So the ones who were elected last year, follow me closely, would be up for election in 2028 under this new referendum. The others would be up for election in 2026. Now, say everybody won. All right. So in 2028, which would be the next election cycle, everybody on the school board would be up for a 2-year term, which would take us to 2030. And in 2030, then they will consolidate everybody and put them under the county election cycle. It sounds confusing, right? So we'll see what happens with this, if there's going to be a decision one way or another later on this evening. This should be very interesting. Let us take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about lead in water. We're going to talk about lead, period. And we're going to talk about just why it is so important for us to understand what that's all about and how we deal with it. This is Real Talk Memphis. I am Chip. You know who you are. And I see some folks on the Facebook Live line tonight. Jerry Gardner and Sita, she's on there as well as Mike Harris as well. So anyway, good to see you all. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Support from WYXR comes from Sunset Jazz at Court Square, a free, family-friendly concert series presented by Just Jazzin', downtown Memphis and City of Memphis. Held every second Sunday from May through October, this annual event brings the smooth sounds of Memphis jazz to the heart of downtown at 62 North Main Street. Each show spotlights local talent in a wide range of styles, from straight ahead to swing. More information can be found at sunsetjazzmemphis.com.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this beautiful Monday evening in the city. Chip with you, we found out last week that there were 24 schools in the Memphis and Shelby County school system that tested for lead in the water and some excessive levels of lead in the water. Now we know that many of the schools were built, long time ago. Just like some of the houses and some of the neighborhoods and communities out there that had lead-based paint and a lot of other things. Well, this is obviously something that people need to pay attention to because anything with lead in it is not a good thing. So that made me invite my first guest this evening. She's the founder, CEO, and president of Young, Gifted, and Green. It is an environmental organization, and their leader and their founder is LaTricea Adams, and she joins me now. LaTricea, it's good to see you. Welcome to Real Talk Memphis. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for taking the time to be with us this evening. Okay, so this is what you do for a living. This is in your wheelhouse. And somebody told me that when it comes to lead in all situations like this, you're the expert. Now, you actually worked in Flint, Michigan. You remember a few years ago when that's all anybody was talking about, with all the lead in the water and all the dangers in reference to all of that. Didn't you have something to do with that up there?
Yeah, so actually how the organization got started is in the wake of the Flint water crisis. So we work very closely with the activists that were working on the ground. That looked a myriad of ways. It went from trying to advocate on the Hill while former President Obama was still in office to door knocking. We used a lot of strategies in the beginning of the water crisis that we learned quite a bit from.
Yeah, absolutely that. And, I know that, like I said, that had been in the news for a very, very long time and brought real attention to the dangers of lead, in paint and in water. How important is understanding what that's all about? I want people to really get an understanding of how serious a situation this could be.
Yeah, so lead exposure is extremely dangerous, any level of lead, okay? It could be what's called 1 part per billion. There's no safe level of lead. There's a myriad of ways in which you can be exposed to lead. In this instance, this exposure by water. Essentially, how lead leaches into water, it can leach through lead service lines, which we know that we have a significant amount of lead service lines throughout Memphis and Shelby County, as well as outdated infrastructure like inside of a building. Mm-hmm. So as you mentioned, a lot of our schools are really, really old. So once upon a time, it was actually legal to make indoor plumbing like pipes, water fixtures, so at the actual tap. So in some of these buildings, it's really old, and it's a possibility that there could be lead that is actually leaching at the source or at the tap, whether that be at the tap when you are in the restroom, in the kitchen. We've seen some of those reports as well. Water fountains. It also includes like sinks inside of classrooms as well. I'm a former educator. I once upon a time had a classroom that had a sink in it. But why this is so critical and should be a priority is because lead poisoning is irreversible. It causes a significant amount of symptoms from a public health perspective. Particularly children and pregnant people, pregnant women, people looking to conceive, are definitely at a higher risk. There's also something called body burden or cumulative body burden, meaning that if you're exposed to lead over time, it accumulates in the body. So when lead enters the body, Some of it may come out, it may be excreted through our bodily fluids, but what does not leave out of the bloodstream is actually redeposited into the bones. So when you talk
wow.
about children,
Yeah.
if some of the lead goes into their bones, I mean, it can be re-released, especially for girls later on in life as well.
Yeah, that all sounds pretty critical, and I know I can be a bit critical sometimes when I talk about issues like this, but I would have thought that because many of us who were born here, raised here, and went to school here know that some of these schools have been around for a very long time, that checking for lead in water would have been something that might have been done before school started as a preventative measure, or at least a knowledgeable measure. Maybe I'm wrong in this, but I just think that isn't this something that I don't know what your thought process is on this, that maybe we should have looked into before school actually started, because now we're dealing with 24 schools, is a fairly healthy number. But I mean, isn't this something that could have been at least looked into and maybe, tested for before school started?
Yeah, so typically with the district, their remediation typically starts before school starts. So I don't want to misquote to, get an understanding of when their timeline was.
Sure.
But it's really important to try to reconcile or fix whatever issues are before children and teachers are in the building. Because remember, teachers come back first.
That's right.
There is too.
That's right.
And children. In addition to that, the biggest safety precaution, particularly at this point, is just to take the water out of commission, right?
Right.
So in the instance where you do have elevated levels, find alternative mechanisms like with bottled water. I know there has been some reservation with some folks around the water filtration. The thing with water filtration, you have to be on it. You have to make sure that you're replacing the filters in a timely fashion. You also need to make sure that there are reputable brands that you're using for filters. So the ideal situation is that they would have already tested and would have been ready at day one with the proactive measures to make sure that children had access to clean water.
Now, to be fair, all of the schools that had reported elevated levels of lead are now using bottled water. All those schools have bottled water, and all of the water faucets are off, and all of that kind of stuff. But I just think it's something that we hear about, but we don't really talk about, and really about the dangers of it in reference to all of this. Now, you're an environmental group, and a big part of what you do is it monitoring businesses and organizations, groups, and things like this. That situation up in Flint, Michigan was just absolutely, it was almost overwhelming just to hear about it on a daily basis. But it really, is that the focus of what you all do as an organization daily?
Yeah, so our focus is around lead poison prevention and other environmental issues, but lead poison prevention is kind of our sweet spot. So we do a significant amount of educational awareness. We work with youth. We also work with young adults around building their knowledge and capacity, not just understanding some of the harms of lead poisoning, but also understanding ways that you can use policy to better prevent lead exposure, ways in which that you can engage with elected officials, a myriad of different strategies that we use to build capacity with community members to be knowledgeable. It's almost like the concept of Sankofa, each one teach one, reach back and fetch it, so that we are trying to reach as many people as possible. And then the other part of the work that we do, I actually had an opportunity to work with Mayor Lee Harris at the beginning of his first term to establish something called the Shelby County Lead Prevention and Sustainability Commission. So a large role of that commission is to provide community oversight around the implementation of the law, making it mandatory for testing in school drinking water. In fact, we actually have a meeting, which is very timely, this Wednesday, so we can really put our heads together to talk about how can we truly get to a place where we don't have these instances where lead is reoccurring in our schools' drinking water.
Have you found that it's almost impossible really to control this because of, and we talked about it earlier, the age of some of these facilities? I mean, these schools, a lot of these schools have been around for a very long time, as do a lot of some of the historical communities in Memphis and Shelby County as well. Is it really kind of an uphill battle, do you find, in reference to all of this, just because we're dealing with a city with aged facilities now, not only homes but schools as well?
Yeah, so there is a bit of optimism. So we also work in cities outside of Memphis. So, for example, I'll use Washington, D.C.
Okay.
So Washington, D.C. also has a mandatory law for testing for lead in school drinking water, and they invested a significant amount of resources into filtering. Filtering, if done appropriately, is a good mitigation strategy. Now, it is costly. So, for example, in DC, they, in the instance where there were elevated lead levels and water sources inside schools, then they would in turn pay to actually put those filters on. So there are, mechanisms where you can intervene. I mean, other than that, I mean, it would be a huge investment if you just completely took out all of the indoor plumbing and started over like that. I can't even really fathom that on top of some of the other deferred maintenance issues that we have besides just issues with drinking water quality. So filtering is the most ideal way to approach this issue.
Yeah, there's a lot. Obviously, there's a lot to this, but I think it's important for people to really realize and understand, as you stated earlier, that lead is harmful, and it can cause some big time issues, not only in adults but our babies, as well. And as they're coming up in situations like this, the mitigation aspect of it, the filtration aspect of it, as you said, being honest, that's a very costly proposition. So in the meantime, what do we do? Well, what I mean, as a community, as a city, as a county, what do we do in the meantime as we are considering, what to do next about a problem that could be a serious problem?
Yeah, so my recommendation is, particularly since Shelby County has the most lead poisoned children in the entire state of Tennessee.
Wow.
Even though we have a state statute, right? We have a state law. Because Memphis is so vulnerable, in my opinion, my recommendation is for us to be a bit more intentional around the policy. So the way that the state law is written, every single district creates their own policy, right? So Memphis Shelby County Schools, the school board can actually do an amendment to their current policy. One, the state requires school districts to test biannually, so every other year.
Right.
I think that the district should test every year, right? The other thing that's really important, there needs to be an update to our state law because the EPA released new guidance around the lead and copper rule where the level of remediation has been lowered. So right now, the action level is still a bit too high. So, some may ask if it, may not be 15 parts per billion, it may be 10. We still need to know that, right?
Right.
The other thing that is really critical is around transparency. What are the test results for all of the schools, regardless of what the level was, if it was over or under? I'll use DC for an example. They post all of their school testing results, every single source, on a website that anyone can access.
Right.
I would love to see our district be more transparent, and it will help with parents and child advocates not just being in panic mode, but the first step is just knowing, right? So there should be a bit more transparency around what these tests reveal at each school, regardless of what the level may be.
LaTricea Adams, ladies and gentlemen, she is the founder, CEO, and president of Young, Gifted, and Green, this environmental organization that is trying to keep us all safe. LaTricea, thank you for coming on the show tonight and really laying things out for us. Lots to think about here, but appreciate the work that you do on a daily basis. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Thank you. That's good stuff. But we need to understand that this is the for real deal here, and that of course you need to be due diligent, and you need to make sure that you're paying attention to what your young folks are consuming, especially in our school systems. So, great conversation there. Let's take a break. When we come back, we will continue on this Monday ride we like to call Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. Don't go away. More to come.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk.
WYXR is about celebrating Memphis every day, so you know we're not going to miss the opportunity to show up for our city on 901 Day. We're teaming with the City of Memphis, iHeartMedia, Memphis Grizzlies, and more for a full takeover of Beale Street, featuring live music, special guests, crafts, and more from the best the Bluff City has to offer. We'll see you in the city on Monday, September 1st from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Stay tuned for lineup announcements and more details. WYXR Stereo Sessions continues, but this time with something you can dance to. Billy Always' 1982 album released on Willie Mitchell's Way Low imprint. Join us August 13th from 6 to 8 p.m. for a free presentation of the album. Willie Mitchell's son and the current proprietor of the legendary Royal Studios, Boo Mitchell, will be in the building with us. Go to stereosessions.wyxr.org to RSVP. This season of Stereo Sessions is brought to you by Memphis Listing Lab, Crosstown Brewing Company, Independent Bank, and Via Productions. We've got the bases loaded for a special fundraising event at Bar DKDC to help chip away at the nearly $85,000 in federal grant funding lost after Congress rescinded public media support. Join us on Sunday, August 17th from 3 to 7 p.m. for the All-Star Tea-Dance, benefiting WYXR, featuring all vinyl DJ sets from your favorite WYXR DJs, like Brandon Eves, DJ Rhinestone, DJ Livin, Carrie Mahoney, and me, DJ Bizzle Bluebland. Plus surprise WYXR host appearances all night. Suggested donation of $10 at the door.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening in the city. Chip with you, and we have another in-studio guest, ladies and gentlemen. And we were talking about this at the top of the show. An organization called Rise Memphis. I'm sorry, I'm looking around here. There's air coming from someplace, and I can't repeat. There's something's blowing somewhere around here. But in any event, but they are an organization that empowers people to become self-sufficient by building and sustaining human and financial assets. And we're very fortunate to have their executive director in studio with us. His name is Malcom Rawls. And Malcom, welcome to Real Talk Memphis. Good to see you, man.
Glad to be here, Chip. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So as an overview, tell folks who may not have heard of Rise Memphis what your organization is all about.
So, Chip, you talked about it a little bit, but Rise Memphis is about financial literacy and financial empowerment for all Memphians. Mm-hmm. What we do, we have programming that touches everybody, whether you're a junior or senior in high school, about to get your first paycheck, to you, whether you're a senior citizen trying to plan and navigate retirement. So we cover the whole gamut of financial literacy. What we know is a lot of what we get from financial literacy depend on conversations at the table. What did you learn from mom and dad? Mm-hmm. Who's talking about money at the house? And we don't get those in-depth conversations, those strategic plans on how to navigate and run the household bills. And we are building community around these conversations about creating generational wealth, about understanding our credit, about becoming homeowners, how to navigate all of these things.
You know, you said that during the break, you don't hear a lot about this, and there are not a lot of conversations about this, and this is something that you're really working hard for people to know and to understand, because we're all growing up. Young people grow into young adults grow into older adults, and they have to live. They have to do this thing called life.
That's right.
You know, and life is life, but it's important to understand the steps involved, especially if you want to be a successful person. Correct?
That's correct. Too many times we see. People learning after the fact. You said life is lifing. Life can be a hard teacher sometimes.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
What we want to do is, provide the wisdom, provide the resources so you don't have to avoid some of these mistakes. We talked about working with seniors in high school, how to navigate when you arrive to college, the scholarship process, the loan process, and not signing away your credit, signing up for a credit card just for a box of pizza.
There you go.
Those kind of pitfalls.
So you're teaching them. I mean, honestly, you're teaching them how to do it properly. When kids, you talked about, when they get to a certain age and they can apply for credit cards, man, their eyes get big as saucers. And there are companies out there that are. I'd like to think that they're sort of predatory lenders.
Absolutely.
They're looking for young people, man, and they
fresh
send the fresh meat, right? And so they send you, oh man, a $300 credit. Oh my God, I got a credit card, and then they just go crazy.
That's right.
So how do you teach them to moderate? How do you teach them to understand that not everything that comes your way is a good thing? Absolutely.
So the biggest thing and what it ties in tomorrow with this financial literacy fair.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Again, not just the budgeting. It's I guess understanding and seeing a complete picture of your finances. Most people think it's clipping coupons or balancing a checkbook, but like I said, it's about understanding the system as a whole and being prepared to navigate that and thrive in this system.
It's a step-by-step process.
Absolutely.
Now, this is the event that you mentioned, the literacy event that you're listening that you talked about tomorrow. What are you hoping to gain? What people who are going to participate in all of this? What are they in for? What types of things are they going to learn?
So what I want Memphis to get from this. You come out, you get the resources, you get the information,
right.
But more importantly, you're getting the one-on-one support. You can go to YouTube, you can get on these podcasts, and they're talking about, general situations. What we have is a team of GMFEC, financial education counselors, and they're going to walk you through this thing one-on-one. How it works is, when I'm talking about our Save Up program, you come in with an asset in mind, whether it's home ownership, purchasing a vehicle, education, and my favorite, where we've added entrepreneurship, the ability to start a business.
Sure.
So you come in, you go through this common sense course, and that's a financial education, 4 weeks of that with us. And then we put you with a banking partner, and we create a savings account. And we're with you. When I talk about this one-on-one support.
So this is the partnership from beginning to end, it sounds like to me.
Absolutely. It's not.
It's a big deal, man.
It's not come in for a class and get this handout and go on about your way. Good luck.
Right.
We're with you in this step-by-step, one-on-one.
Wow.
The Save Up program is 2 years. So in that 2 years, you save up $1,000, and at the end of it, we give you $2,000 for a total of $3,000 for that home, for that car, for that business.
Man, okay, that's incentive and motivation,
absolutely,
as well as training at the same time.
Right? While breaking these cycles of generational poverty, you for two years now you've been putting away. This mindset carries on in the family. Now the family is a part of this plan for saving. No, we can't do McDonald's today. We gotta go to the house because we're saving for this. We're building towards this.
You mentioned a key word in that last little section there. Poverty in Memphis is a big deal.
That's right.
And I think that we all know that the poverty is a big situation in our city.
That's right.
A high poverty rate, and it filters down. If they even break it down to adults versus children, it's even a higher poverty rate for children.
That's right.
Which I think is extraordinarily sad. Which I'm really excited about the fact that you're starting young. How young is young in terms of starting the financial aspect of learning?
We start with 5th grade. We start with 5th grade. So we have
that's 10, 11 years old, something like that.
That's right. And what's important is this multi-generational approach.
Yeah.
So you could be a kid 5th grade through 12th grade, getting, all these years of financial literacy, financial experience.
Sure.
Budgeting, what to do with your paycheck. Running a household is not foreign to you. So you have that opportunity to get that education. And when we talk about multi-generational approaches, so I mentioned the Saver program. We currently have a mom. She's in her first year, but she's saving up to get a business. Her daughter is a junior at one of our MSCS high schools, and she's in the Gold Card program. So we got mom going through this financial literacy, saving up for her business, while her daughter is right behind her, learning, getting the same information, getting ready and prepared to go to college with a financial plan in mind.
Save up.
Save up.
Okay. Is there a certain amount that they want to save up? Or
so what we do, saving is unlimited, but with us, once you hit that save 1,000 with us, then we match 2,000 for a total of 3,000.
Wow. So if they save 1,000,
correct,
then you gonna match that with 2,000.
I got 2,000 for you. That's right.
That's a big thing.
That's right, and we're there again. We're by your side through this whole 2-year process.
Yeah, I mean, so any questions, anything that they need to know or understand about that?
We have people dedicated to your unique financial situation.
How long you guys been around?
Chip, we're celebrating 25 years this year.
25 years?
25 years. One of the best kept secrets in Memphis.
I was gonna say we're gonna pull the cover off it now. You got me after saying that. This is an amazing program, and in reference to the event that you're having tomorrow.
That's correct.
Tomorrow. Is this a yearly thing? Is this the first time you've done it? Or you haven't done it in a while? I mean, how's that go? How's that look?
So this is the first time for us. Microsoft obviously has a huge footprint in this technology space,
Sure.
And we know with this impending AI rush and this transition into the technical space, what we wanted to do is, again, be current and be up to date in how in the resources we're providing for Memphis. So we were able to partner with them, and what they're doing is with Microsoft. With Microsoft, we're able to partner with Microsoft, and for those who are not familiar with Power BI, what this is going to do is going to pair these your budget, your respective budget. We got a template and kind of a worksheet that we're going to go through, take the time and let you list it out. Step by step. List your budget.
Okay.
And then for the second part, now we're going to introduce the Power BI. And now you can have this visual picture of what your finances look like. Say, for instance, you paid off your recent credit card.
Sure.
Or you paid off your car.
Sure.
Now, what does it look like in this picture with that payment being closed? And you can see, how do I apply? What if I keep making that same payment I was making for that credit card? What if I put it in this savings account, this investment account? You can immediately see in real time what that financial picture looks like with this knowledge of Power BI.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you are paying attention to what we're talking about here, and if you like what you hear, I hope you're telling other folks about it. Or when you watch this, you tell folks about this program, because I had no idea. This is an amazing program, Malcolm. We're out of time, man, but thank you for coming. Thank you for being a part. Thank you for what you're doing. This is a big deal. My producer Lola was sitting back. When you get Lola's attention, she was paying attention too. When you get her attention, that means you're talking some good stuff, man.
Right.
You're doing something, man. Mm-hmm. Listen, thank you for coming, man. I really appreciate having you.
Thanks for having me, Chip.
Absolutely that. Malcolm Rawls, ladies and gentlemen, Executive Director of Rise Memphis, doing big things there in the community. We're going to take another break, and when we come back, we will continue on our Monday ride called Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. Don't go anywhere.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page, and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Support for WYXR comes from Slowdown Cinema Club, presenting a special screening of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind at the Museum of Science and History on Friday, August 22nd. More info and tickets can be found at slowdowndrygoods.com.
Support for WYXR, including our 2025 Dowd Awards, comes from Iris Etc. Catering. Chef Kelly English offers flavors from his childhood in southern Louisiana, catering weddings, private events, corporate luncheons, and more. More information can be found at irisetcetera.com. Want to reach a passionate audience who loves Memphis's arts and music scene? Sponsor WYXR and connect your brand with the city's creative community. More information at wyxr.org/sponsorship.
WYXR has been nominated for Best Radio Station in the Memphis Flyers Best of Memphis 2025. If you love what you hear, show your support and vote for us now at bom25.memphisflyer.com. Voting is open through Wednesday, August 13th.
I'm Patrick Tamburino, host of the Techno Strategist podcast. Join me as we navigate the ever-evolving world of IT managed services and beyond. We'll explore everything from selecting the ideal tech partner to the forefront of cutting-edge technologies, all infused with my own unique perspective and hopefully a touch of humor. Don't forget to tune in to the Techno Strategist on the WYXR Podcast Network. For more information, head over to wyxr.org.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on a great Monday evening. I hope that you are enjoying this show as much as I am this evening. And my next guest is no stranger to us here at Real Talk Memphis or any of you. You talk about somebody getting stuff done. This young man here, the current mayor of West Memphis, Arkansas. His name is Malcom McClendon, and he joins me now. He's been on this show before. And Mr. Mayor, it's great to see you, my friend. How are you?
Thank you, Chip. Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here with you again.
Yeah, man, listen, I'm honored to have you. Boy, you talk about some big things that are going on. I know every time I talk to you in the past up until this point, you've always said, boy, we got some big things going. We got some big things coming, and a lot is happening. You teased folks here recently about this proposed water park that you're going to have. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you have a huge project that is coming. I think it may have just broken ground. Tell us a little bit about something I think a lot of people are aware of.
Well, we got a lot of projects going on, so I really don't know which one you want to start.
It begins with a B.
All right. Well, I think that may be Buc-ee's.
That would be
Buc-ee's
it. Yes, sir.
Getting ready to come to the city of West Memphis. It's going to be actually the third largest Buc-ee's in the country.
Wow.
It's going to be a 75,000 square foot facility with 141 gas pumps and electrical charging stations.
Oh my God.
It's on the second busiest interstate travel through the country, which is I-40 and 55. You go on to Chicago to New Orleans or LA to Washington. At some point, you got to come to the city of West Memphis. So it's going to be definitely good for us. It's going to bring another a greater tax base.
Yes, sir.
As well as it's going to offer great jobs for the people of West Memphis and surrounding area.
Yeah, you have to have, you're going to have a lot of folks, man, a building that big that you just mentioned. And that is a big boon for you as the third largest in the country. Now, for anybody who's been to a Buc-ee's, and I have a couple of them, it's a pretty neat place. It really is. It is your ultimate one-stop shop, isn't it? In terms of, I mean, you can buy food there, you can buy groceries there, you can get gas there, you can do a whole lot of things there as well, right?
At Buc-ee's, it's a cult following. You walk in, you see kids ain't grown up.
That's right.
In the Buc-ee outfit. I mean, it's just totally different. Some may say it was a big gas station. But I can guarantee you it's much more than that.
Oh, yes, sir.
I guarantee you now that I've been introduced to it, anytime I'm out and I'm around the country and I'm near one, I definitely have to stop.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I was looking at something that was very strategic for West Memphis. If you got an interstate that got 90,000 vehicles coming through your city a day, you have an opportunity to get them cars off the interstate to stop them to spend money in your city, which is going to generate taxes for your city so you can take care of the people of your city. And they are predicting to bring 100,000 people a week to West Memphis.
Wow. That's huge. Big time. Congratulations on that. Lay out some of the other projects that you have going on across the bridge, my friend.
Well, definitely, we approved the tax back in November, a 1 cent tax that was good for our community, that was going to address quality of life, public safety, and infrastructure.
Right.
And, during the quality of life part, we were able to build a brand new amphitheater right in the heart of our city at Hightower Park, which is great.
Oh, man.
As well as we was able to we're starting to build an aquatic center with an 8-lane competition pool and a therapeutic pool, as well as a recreational center that's going to have 6 basketball-sized courts that's interchangeable to pickleball, volleyball, gymnastics, anything that you want in there. As well as we're going to build a brand new police department that's been in an old bank building in our city for so long, and a new fire station that's going to be able to hold the apparatus that the new firemen have to have in their line of business. Infrastructure work. So, yeah, those things are pretty big that's going on. Just going to change the internal infrastructure. But also, West Memphis right now is on the cusp of closing the deal with Epic Waters and Resorts.
Mm-hmm.
Epic Waters Resorts has an NFL-sized indoor water park.
Are you serious?
For a 500-room hotel adjacent to it, with a big outdoor lagoon that shows water shows on a nightly basis.
Oh, man.
As well as a new 4 new restaurants. And one of the restaurants that have been rumored to be coming is Papa Do's. So that's definitely going to be big for us. And that's going to be major.
Yeah.
Then on top of that, I'm sure you all have heard about, well, let me stay on recreational right now. We got a BMX big pump track, going to be the largest pump track track in the country. It's going to be connected to our Big River Crossing, our Ducks Unlimited Crossing, where everyone ride their bike and walk. So there's going to be major competitions coming here that's going to be exposing our city to the world. And we got something major that's getting ready to happen right now. Have you heard about our big data center that we're getting ready to announce on the 24th of this month?
You stay.
It's the biggest investment in the state of Arkansas, which is a $6 billion investment, and that happens to be the G word. It's going to be major for our community. A lot of the things that Memphis had been experiencing with XAI, we don't have any of that. We have zero, and I mean zero gas turbines. We already worked out a deal with allowing them to use our wastewater.
Yeah.
They're coming through our wastewater treatment center to use their water, so no effect on our water and no effect on our utilities, energy, and West Memphis. Both are going to serve it, so they got more power, and you won't have to worry about any rolling blackouts, and you have to worry about no air quality, no one getting sick or possibly getting cancer. And then they're going to give our city a large amount of money every year for the next 30 years to make sure that we continue to take care of public safety, quality of life projects, as well as infrastructure. So that is definitely going to be big for our city.
We
got a few more other things.
Well, I'm sure you do, but you have really done an extraordinary job in building up that city. For many people, not only here in Memphis, but even people in West Memphis who grew up there, who've been around for a long time, and didn't have. Now you're putting yourself right in line with major competition. You're competing in terms of businesses with some of the bigger cities in this country. And you mentioned Buc-ee's coming, the 3rd largest in the United States of America. That's no small task. And so you had an agenda when you first became mayor. And are you reaching all of the goals that you set out to reach, or are you exceeding goals? I know there's always more on the plate for you, but in terms of your planning, where are you in that process?
Well, I think that God's allowed me to fulfill a lot of the vision that He has given me and for the people of our city. I think West Memphis has always been full of potential. We have always had the land. Coca-Cola consolidation has done another big over $25 to $30 million expansion. We have always had the potential. We always have the mighty Mississippi River that's sitting right there. Mm-hmm. We have 40 and 55 that's going through our city. We have FedEx right across the bridge, no more than 10 miles away for us. As well, we have 5 out of the 6 major railroads, Union Pacific, all of those that come right to our city. It never should have been where West Memphis should have been in a position where we were not leading the state and part of the country in distribution and manufacturing. And I think that all these other things that we are doing, that we're making our city more of a tourist destination. When you look at Tilden Rogers, when you got 8 baseball fields, that's all turf fields, with new splash pads that's coming in, with outdoor sand, volleyball court, pickleball, basketball courts, sports center, sports complex that everyone can enjoy, along with people that's coming to our city. You want to continue to make our city better. And you look and say, right now we're in the process of negotiating of buying a municipal golf course, which I think has major potential for the thing they can offer for our people, and not only just for our people, for the business community and people coming to our city.
Man, a one-stop shop all the way around. I got to tell you, I am so proud of you, and there are so many people over here in this in Memphis who are so proud of what West Memphis is doing. I mean, you really are, taking this thing to extraordinary levels. Congratulations on everything.
I need to tell you one quick thing.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I felt the air was. Here it is, August.
Yep.
And West Memphis has only had 1 murder in our city.
Wow.
And the murder was between 2 family members, a 14 and a 16-year-old. Should have never been in that position anyway.
Right.
But our city is a safe city. People that come here and people that move here know that you can be safe in our city. You can know that everything is going good. And then you can live 5 minutes away from downtown Memphis.
There you go.
We are closer to downtown Memphis than East Memphis, North Memphis, and South Memphis. You can come over here, be safe. You can work. The whole night, you can work, live, and play right here in West Memphis. And if you have to go cross the bridge for 5 minutes, you can run across the bridge and come back home to a place that's going to welcome you and embrace you at all times.
Mayor Marco McClendon, ladies and gentlemen, doing it big. Mr. Mayor, it's always good to see you, and it's always good to talk to you, man.
Thank you.
Continued luck. The best of luck with everything. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Chip, man. Anytime you need me, I see you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Boy, doggone it, man. West Memphis, Arkansas is hitting on all cylinders. They truly, truly are. And this has been a great show. I have really, truly enjoyed this broadcast tonight. We've got a lot of great information. I hope that you have as well. You can always find it. You can always check out the show as we live stream it on Facebook as well. I want to thank Mayor McClendon and all our guests this evening for a really vitally full of information show. Now, before we get out of here, the next show you will hear is by our guy, Bren Butler, and it is called Event Horizon. Bren, what can the audience expect from you musically tonight?
Tonight, Chip, as you like to say sometimes, it'll be a bit of a journey. It'll be a bit multi-genre. There'll be some heavy rock, some hip-hop, some electronic stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll take you into to 8 p.m.
You are doing it, man. Your show is really, you know what? I think your show is catching on, and a lot of folks enjoy it. We enjoy it as well, and Lola and I are your biggest support. But as you play us out, we're looking forward. Event Horizon, ladies and gentlemen, in about a minute or two, coming our way. So for all of us here at Real Talk Memphis, another great show tonight. If you like what we do, please tell somebody. So for all of us, for lovely Lola, there she is. You see her. And for Bren, who you'll be hearing in about a minute or so. Thank you for being a part of this experience we like to call Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip, of course, and we couldn't do anything that we do around here without you out there. So for all of us at the Real Talk Memphis, have a wonderful week. Be safe, be careful out there, and we are out. See you soon.